Robin Hood. Retold by Christina Boland. Robin was an amazing archer. He wanted to join the shooting competition in Nottingham Town, hoping to win the first prize, a purse full of gold. On his way to Nottingham Town, he was going through Sherwood Forest. It was a sunny day and he saw a group of foresters sitting around a table. "Forester, hello, young man. Where could you be going in this nice weather?" The foresters burst out laughing when he told them he was going to join the Nottingham Town competition. "Forester, aren't you too young to be shooting arrows, boy? How about we make a bet? We'll give you 50 silver coins if you shoot the target we choose." "Robin, just give the order." "Forester, can you see those deer over there? Bring down one of them." Robin simply took aim and shot one of the deer. Suddenly, the foresters were all on their feet. It turned out that he killed one of the king's deer. "Foresters, you killed one of the king's deer. That's illegal. We have to put you in jail." "Robin, but you're the ones who told me to shoot the deer." "Forester, don't let him get away. Catch him." Robin quickly ran into the forest as fast as he can until he lost the foresters. Robin was very sad. He sat down on a tree stump and thought about his home and about Marian, the girl he was in love with. "Robin, I'm done for. If the king found out what Elle did, he will at least put me in jail. Now I can't go home or see Marian again. The forest is my new home." Robin suddenly heard a noise behind him in the bushes. He saw two boys when he turned around, so he instantly aimed his bow at them. "Robin, who are you?" "Midge, don't worry, we're friends. I'm Midge and this is Will Scarlet. What about you? What's your name?" "Robin, I'm Robin of Locksley. Why are you here?" The boys told Robin that they're afraid of the king too. They're outlaws hiding in the forest. "Midge, we hunt animals for food and chop wood for fire. If the king finds out, we will get hanged. Will, the rich men and the nobles charge us lots of money for just food and housing. But we don't have the money, so we hide here in the forest or else we'll be in jail." After listening to Midge and Will, Robin became very angry about how unfair the rich men's laws were. He decided to stay with them in the forest and help the poor as much as he could. Soon, more men joined them and they took Robin as their leader, calling him Robin Hood. That group of outlaws was called the Merry Men. "Robin, we can't let the nobles steal from the poor. We'll take the money back and give it to the poor who need it more. Merry Men, hooray!" Robin Hood and the Merry Men became famous through the land as the years passed. While the poor loved him and viewed him as a hero because he gave them food and money, the greedy nobles hated him. They would avoid going into the forest because they were scared he might take their money, as he often did. They asked the sheriff of Nottingham to put him in jail, but he tried and failed many times. He hated Robin too. "Sheriff, I'll get you one day," Robin Hood. Or I will die trying. Robin saw a butcher on his way to the market with a cart full of meat when he was walking in the forest. He asked him how many gold coins would be enough to buy the whole cart. The butcher asked for 10 gold coins, but Robin gave him 20. The butcher was very happy about it and told Robin that he was a good man. Robin also bought his hat and apron for a gold coin. Robin took the cart to Butcher's Square at the Nottingham town market, put on the apron and hat he just bought, and he was very nice and friendly with the people. He sold the meat much cheaper than the other butchers because he wanted the poor to be able to buy it. He was the best salesman in the square and sold all the meat very quickly. Seeing how successful he was, one of the other butchers approached him. "Butcher, you did very well today, friend. The sheriff is having a feast for the butchers tonight in the Guildhall. Do you want to come with us?" Robin: "How can I say no? It's the sheriff after all." Robin had a great time with the butchers at the feast. They ate lots of meat and bread while talking and laughing. The sheriff met Robin and talked to him for a very long time without recognizing him. "Sheriff, you must be a very rich man considering how low your prices are. Do you own a lot of cattle?" Robin: "Yes, sir, I do. I have 510 animals between me and my brothers. We're looking to sell them. Would you like to buy them? The price is 300 gold coins." Sheriff: "What? 300? I'll definitely buy them." The sheriff knew that for 510 heads 300 gold coins was much less than what they're worth. He was blinded by this love for money and thought Robin was a fool. "Sheriff, will you bring me the cattle tomorrow if I give you the money now?" Robin: "Nay, sir. I think you should come see them yourself tomorrow." Sheriff: "All right then. You can sleep here tonight and we'll leave first thing in the morning." Robin took the sheriff too deep into Sherwood Forest in the morning. Then he pointed at some of the king's deer in the distance and asked him if he liked his cattle. Sheriff: What's going on? Those are not cattle." Robin: "Neither am I a butcher. I'm Robin Hood." The sheriff was shocked and scared. He immediately tried to run away, but Robin was holding onto the horse's reins. Robin was laughing and then he blew on his silver bulge 3 times. Robin Hood's merry men heard the sound and came out of the forest all around the sheriff. "Robin, I wanted you to meet the merry men, Sheriff. Should I introduce you?" Sheriff: "You tricked me." Robin: "Don't worry, Sheriff. You are not in danger. I ate in your home after all. Now you will eat with us." A man called Little John blindfolded the sheriff and took him to Robin Hood's secret home in the forest. When they took the blindfold off, the sheriff saw the merry men cooking meat over huge fires. The smell made him very hungry. Robin: "Don't be afraid, Sheriff. Sit down. Alan Adale here will play a song for us while we eat. He's an excellent musician. the only thing that occupied the sheriff's mind is whether they will take his money or not. Robin asked the sheriff for the 300 gold coins after they ate. The sheriff was angry, but he was also afraid, so he gave him the money. Then, Little John blindfolded the sheriff again and led him out of the forest. Little John, thank you very much for the coins, Sheriff. You are such a generous man. Sheriff, thinking, you will all be hanged for this. I will get all of you. The sheriff thought of a way to arrest Robin Hood a month later. He decided to hold a shooting competition in Nottingham town. Knowing that Robin Hood was the best archer in the land, he thought he would surely be there. The sheriff then sent his messengers to spread the word about the competition everywhere and made sure that Robin Hood heard about it. The prize was going to be an arrow made of pure gold. Robin Hood did hear about the competition and was very excited about it. David, I heard that the competition is a trap so the sheriff can put us all in jail. Are you sure you want to go? Robin, of course I know that, David. That's why we'll go in disguise. We will use berries to change our hair colors and we'll dress like beggars and peasants. He won't recognize us. Robin and the merry men went to the Nottingham town fairground on the day of the competition, and Robin Hood did very well and everyone cheered for him. The sheriff was there and the fairground was full of people. Sheriff, thinking, he looks like a beggar but shoots like Robin Hood. Everyone will think I'm a fool if I arrest him only for him to turn out to be just a beggar. Robin won the golden arrow and the sheriff himself gave him the prize. He then went back to Sherwood Forest with the merry men. Robin wanted to send the sheriff a message to thank him. The sheriff had an arrow fly through his window with a letter on it soon after when he was having dinner in his room. He opened it to read what was inside. Sheriff, dear Sheriff of Nottingham, thank you for the golden arrow. It's a wonderful prize, Robin Hood. What? Robin Hood? Not again. I can't believe this. Marian, the girl Robin loved, was actually one of the Queen's servants, but Robin didn't know that. She was the Queen's lady-in-waiting. When she heard that Robin won the shooting competition, she decided to tell the Queen about him. Marian, Your Majesty, Robin Hood is a good man. He helps the poor and he only means good. The sheriff just hates him and wants to hang him. Can you please help him, Your Majesty? I love him. Queen, all right then. Bring him to me, I have to speak to him myself. When Robin Hood was walking through the forest the next day, he saw a young man wearing fancy clothes made of silk and also a big velvet hat. The clothes were beautiful and the hat covered half his face. He looked pale and very thin. Robin took out his sword and pointed it at the young man. Young man, is that you, Robin? Robin, who are you? Are you with the sheriff? Robin Hood then moved closer to him and took off the big hat with his sword. The young man wasn't in fact a young man at all. It was Maid Marian. Robin was shocked. She told Robin that she disguised herself as a man because she didn't want anyone to recognize her. She then told him that she had an important message from the Queen. "Robin, I can't believe that you are here, Marian. Marian, it's so good to see you again. But first I have an important message. Queen Eleanor wants to see you. You have to come to London town as soon as possible." Robin Hood took Marian and 3 of his merry men, namely, Little John, Will Scarlet, and Alan a Dale, to London town immediately. The Queen was very welcoming and gave them a big, delicious meal to eat. She then asked Robin for a favor. "Queen, the king is having a shooting competition tomorrow. I think it would be interesting if you and your men participate in it. Marian told me that you are great archers. Will you do that for me? I can talk to the king about you and make him give you your freedom then." "Robin, we would be proud to shoot for you, Your Majesty." "Thank you." The competition started the next day, and while King Henry and Queen Eleanor watched as the king's archers were shooting their arrows, the Queen asked the king for a favor. "Queen, if I bring you 4 archers that can beat your archers, will you give them their freedom?" "King, ha. My archers are the best in the lands. There is no one better than them. If your archers can beat them, then sure I'll give them 40 days of freedom." The Queen gave a signal to Marian, and few minutes later, 4 men walked into the field dressed in green. The sheriff suddenly jumped out of his chair and was very angry. "Sheriff, arrest them immediately. This is Robin Hood and his men." "King, quiet, Sheriff. Is what he's saying true, Eleanor? Is this the criminal Robin Hood?" "Queen, yes, he is. But remember what you promised me, 40 days of freedom." Even though the king's archers were very good, Robin shot 3 arrows at the same time, hitting the bullseye. Robin and his men won the competition. The award was 50 gold coins bugle, and their 40 days of freedom. "King, I'm surprised. You really are the best archers in the lands." The Queen was right. "As promised, you have 40 days of freedom. Once they're over, the sheriff will arrest you." "Robin, thank you, Your Majesty. We will keep the bugle, but please give the gold coins to your excellent archers. We don't need them." The audience were all clapping and cheering for Robin Hood and his merry men. Marian went with them when they returned to Sherwood Forest. The merry men visited towns all over England, enjoying their 40 days. They were surprised to see the people welcoming them everywhere they went. Robin and Marian had a big wedding in the middle of the forest, and everyone was celebrating. As the years passed, King Henry died and King Richard became the new king. He won many wars for England and was very brave. When he heard about Robin Hood, he decided to pay him a visit himself. One day he took some of his men and went to Sherwood Forest disguised as friars. "King Richard, stay here until I whistle for you to come." "Guard, we can't leave, Your Majesty." "King Richard, it's all right. I want to do this myself." The king kept walking into the forest until he saw a stranger on a horse and told him that he was lost and hungry. That man was Will Scarlet. He blew on his bugle 3 times and a group of men appeared. "Robin, we will help you, friar. We will give you food in exchange for your money. We'll give it to the poor. What's your name?" "King Richard. My name is Father Richard." "Are you Robin Hood?" "Robin, yes, I am." The king's purse had 100 gold coins in it. Robin Hood took half of it and gave the other half back to him. "Robin, that will be enough. I am not a greedy man. This money is going to the poor. Now it's time to feast." "King Richard, can you do me a favor? Here are other 6 men with me. They are all very hungry and tired. Can they join us?" Robin Hood, "Of course they can." They talked about the things they do for the poor, and they also talked about King Richard. They all agreed that he was a great king and that they would all love to fight and die for him if they had to. After the feast, the friar took off his hood to reveal that he was King Richard. The men were all shocked and they all were on their feet bowing immediately. "King Richard, it was good to meet you all. I see clearly now that you're not outlaws and criminals. You are kind and honest men who only want to help the poor. You are all pardoned. You can now live your lives free and in peace." Robin and the Merry Men, hooray! Long live the king! And that's how the story of Robin Hood and the Merry Men ends.